Next up, we've got Clemson and Georgia. We've hit one of the big games on the Saturday slate, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, neutral field, although probably a lot of Georgia fans with it still being in the state. We've got Georgia 13.5-point home favorites, not home favorites, neutral field favorites, but it'll probably feel more like a Georgia home game. 49 the total in this game. Total's been bet up, and believe it or not, I agree. You would think sometimes Clemson, what they're capable of being on defense, Georgia, what they're capable of being on defense. I actually think the bigger losses for these two teams in the offseason were on defense for both of these teams. And I think both of them offensively are better. And in the case of Georgia, this is going to be one of the best offenses in all of college football. There's no doubt. I mean, they are a very, very good team on that side of the football. Excellent team on that side of the football. When you look at what Georgia has, Carson Beck returns after a great season last year, 4,000 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. Yeah, they have to start over a bit at running back, but it helps that you went to the portal and brought in Trevor Etienne from the Florida Gators at running back. The receiving core, they still have a lot there. They did a nice job in the portal as well. Dominic Lovett returning. The receiving core is fine. Again, the offensive line should be one of the best in college football. Every publication has them top 3, top 5 offensive line in the country, Georgia, going into this year. So there's a lot to like. The defense was great last year, and they do have 7 starters back. But here's why I say there's still some concerns. Top corner gone. Leading sack master gone. Leading tackler gone. And I know they're a reload, not rebuild team, Georgia. But, early on, they could be just a little step beyond. They're going to be an awesome defense later in the season, no question. They always are, Georgia. But just for the first game against a team that's not a slouch like Clemson, maybe you do see the defense just give up a few more plays than they're accustomed to. For Clemson coming into the season, I think when you look at this team, obviously offense was disappointing last year. There's no question. You expected better than that from them. Their defense was still pretty solid, but only 4 starters back on defense for Clemson, which is why I think that defense takes a step back. Their offense should be improved. Phil Maffa is back at running back. 2 of their best receivers are returning, including Tyler Brown. 4 of their 5 starting offensive linemen are back for Clemson this year. So to me, I think the offense is ahead of the defense, but that is based on that is only the case if Cade Klubnik takes a step forward, and he has to. Because last year, just a few too many wayward throws and 9 interceptions. You don't love to see that. I think he played it really good at times, and then he had some mind-numbing throws and decisions at times. So Cade Klubnik has to improve. I'm seeing mixed reviews from Cade Klubnik in camp. We'll see how that goes for him. But the fact remains that you've got both of these teams, I think, a little bit more as far as personnel loss on being felt on defense, and both of these teams being improved on offense. Georgia's going to score, I think, quite a bit here in this game. Because Clemson's defense, to me, with only those 4 starters back, I think it's going to be difficult for them to match the production and the 20 points per game or so they allowed last year. The question is, can Clemson score enough? And in this game, they might be able to. And even if Georgia's up by 2 touchdowns or 17 and Clemson has the ball late, you could see some garbage time points. I think at 47.5, the total was a bit too low based on the situations with the personnel on these teams. I agree with the move up. As far as the side goes, look, it's Georgia or nothing. It's a 13.5. It's, they got to win by 2 or more touchdowns. Clemson's not chopped liver, but I don't flat out trust Clemson in a game of this magnitude against a team of this caliber. What do you think here, C-Mac, Clemson, Georgia?
Yeah, this one, all the money too here on Clemson. On Georgia. This line has not moved. It's stalled here. It's just everything I've seen, the big money, the tickets, all on Georgia. And they're at home here. A team that lost one that won't happen this year, man, obviously. Lose the game like that, they're out of the playoff for Georgia, a team that basically, was number 1 for most of the year. So that will end. Clemson, one thing, you mentioned the starters back. I think the defense still will be pretty good. Maybe not as great. Both these teams really good. Clemson, 8th last year overall. Georgia, 9th. Both under 300 yards per game were these defenses. They lost a few. They still have some secondary that's all right. Some guys coming in. They have Barrett Carter, the great linebacker for Clemson. But it'll come down to the offense. Maffa's great at running back, but it's all on Cade Klubnik. To me, it is. I've seen enough of him. It seems like either he's off or then his receivers are dropping the ball. There's never been a connect really and get them rolling. And it showed where they can't score more than 20 points a game. I think it happened 4 times last year. We had 4 or 5 times. So I don't know. Maybe we
against Duke, they were a mess on offense. I still remember that.
A mess. So this is week 1, but maybe Georgia scores enough if you like them. I'm going to wait a little bit. This one I wanted to sit with because I still love these defenses. And we get over in the 50 range. We're almost there. I kind of want to take the under. I get that you think they're a little bit above right now, these offenses, and Georgia's is. We're stacked. We don't really need to go. You hit it back. They got the loaded here, wide receiver. They just reload.
Kirby Smart's had, honestly. Because think about the tight end spot. People are talking.
They got Stamper, that guy. Yeah.
Brock Bowers being gone. Well, they brought in Ben Urasek from Stanford.
1,300 yards.
Tight end, and they love the guy that got playing time when Bowers got hurt last year, Oscar Delp. They really like him, and he looked great, quite honestly, when Bowers was hurt last year. They're fine at tight end. Are you kidding me? They'll be fine there.
Yeah. And of course, top recruited class, which they've been the last 3 or 4 years, them and Bama. And I think the defense is just good. They bring back 9 of their top tacklers. And I mean, I thought at times the defense maybe last year was a little bit leaky than the couple years before, but very, very good. I mean, it's hard to knock it. So I don't know if Clemson scores a ton in this one. I'm looking at the under. I haven't bet it, so I don't want to say that, but that's where I'm looking at this game.
Yeah, and certainly, like I say, there's going to if it certainly gets higher, you might even, I don't know if it will, might just stay around this number. But like I said, I went the other way than you, but again, had a little bit of a better number that's out there right now. Again, that's a fascinating game. We'll see how it goes with Clemson and Georgia. Like I said, that Georgia the defense will be good eventually. And hell, maybe they're good here because Clemson offense was just so erratic last year. But certainly that Georgia offense, I don't think it's a stretch to say this could be the best offense Kirby Smart's had with Georgia this year. That's how good they could end up being, no doubt. And Carson Beck, now he got so much better last year. Can you imagine this year how good that he could be at the quarterback spot? All right.